The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy as representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered for an emergency session. Holographic displays flickered above the crystalline floor, each showing the same disturbing image, a dark, empty void where Sol 3, Earth, should have been. Ambassador Velcora of the Zentari Collective raised her three-fingered hand, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with anxiety. 100 years, she announced, her voice translator rendering her clicks and chirps into galactic standard. 100 years since humanity went silent. No transmissions, no trade ships, no diplomatic contact. And now, this. The room fell silent as the main display zoomed into the Sol system. The sun burned bright as ever. Mars stood in its orbit, its human colonies visible but dormant. Venus, Jupiter, Saturn all present. But where the third planet should have circled, there was nothing. Not debris, not ruins, just absence. Commander Thex of the Krillian Defense Force slammed his armored fist against the podium. Impossible! A planet doesn't just disappear? Those primitive humans must have destroyed themselves with their reckless experiments. Primitive? The word came from the shadows at the back of the chamber. A figure stepped forward, elderly, weathered, with skin the color of deep umber and eyes that had seen centuries through serogenic sleep. You called us primitive? The council erupted in chaos. A human. Here. Alive. I am Daisy Chen, she said, her voice cutting through the commotion like a plasma blade through hull plating. Former chief engineer of the United Earth Space Navy. And I'm here to explain where my planet went. The story began 112 years ago, Daisy told them. Humanity had been part of the galactic community for barely 50 years when they made their discovery. A young quantum physicist named Casper, Reeves had been studying ancient texts from Earth's pre-contact era, science fiction mostly, stories written by dreamers who imagined what lay beyond their sky. One story in particular caught his attention, the concept of a pocket dimension. Everyone told him he was crazy, Daisy continued, her weathered face breaking into a slight smile. But Casper had this annoying habit of being right about impossible things. She had met Casper at the Geneva Research Station, where she was overseeing the construction of Earth's first indigenous faster-than-light drive. He had burst into her lab one morning, wild-eyed and clutching a tablet covered in equations. "We can hide," he had said simply. "We can hide the entire planet," Daisy had laughed then. But Casper kept talking, kept showing her the math, kept proving that humanity's understanding of dimensional physics was deeper than the Galactic Empire had ever achieved. The other species had FTL travel, yes, but they'd bought or stolen the technology from older races. They'd never had to claw their way up from nothing, never had to imagine the impossible just to reach the stars. Humanity had done both. "We detected the signals," Daisy said, her voice growing cold. 3 years before we vanished. The Krillian Defense Force was planning an invasion of Earth. They wanted our water, our biological diversity, our strategic position near the galactic core. Commander Thex's face paled beneath his armored plates, but he said nothing. "We brought it before this very council," Daisy continued. "We showed you the evidence. And you did nothing. Because Earth was new. Because we were primitive. Because we didn't matter enough to protect." The council chamber remained deathly quiet, so Casper did what humans do best. He found another way. It took 12 years to build the dimensional anchor network, massive structures hidden in Earth's oceans, disguised as tectonic research stations. Casper had led the theoretical work while Daisy engineered the practical applications. 30,000 scientists and engineers working in absolute secrecy, building something the galaxy said was impossible. When the Krillian fleet arrived in the Sol system, their sensors picked up Earth's signature. They locked weapons, prepared drop pods, began their approach, and Daisy Chen pushed the button. Earth didn't explode. It didn't fragment or burn. It simply slipped sideways through dimensions into a pocket of space-time that existed parallel to normal space. A bubble universe custom-built for one specific planet. The Krillian fleet found nothing but empty space where Earth had been. They searched for weeks before retreating in confusion. "We stayed hidden for a century," Daisy said. "We watched you through quantum sensors. We saw the galaxy move on without us. We saw the Krillians conquered by the Zarkonian dynasty. We saw the Council expand to include 100 new species. We saw peace treaties and trade agreements and cultural exchanges." She paused, her ancient eyes sweeping across the assembled representatives. And we saw that you never once asked what happened to us. You never mounted a rescue mission. You never investigated. Earth went silent and the galaxy shrugged. Ambassador Velcora stepped forward, her skin flickering with shame. What do you want from us now? Daisy smiled, and it was not a kind expression. Want nothing. I'm here to deliver a message. In 3 days, Earth will return to normal space. But we're not the same world that left. We spent a century in isolation, with nothing to do but build, innovate, and prepare. She pulled a small device from her pocket, a holographic projector. Images flickered to life above the council floor. Ships, weapons, cities that floated in clouds of engineered atmosphere. Orbital rings, Dyson sphere construction around the sun, 70% complete. We have 17 colony worlds now, Daisy continued. All hidden in pocket dimensions, all connected through quantum tunnels. Our fleet numbers in the hundreds of thousands. Our technology, she laughed. Well, you called us primitive. You'll see soon enough how wrong you were. Commander Thex finally found his voice. Is this a declaration of war? War? Daisy shook her head. No, Commander. This is a declaration of independence. Earth rejoins the galaxy on its own terms. We'll trade with whoever wants to trade. We'll ally with whoever shares our values. And we'll defend ourselves against anyone who threatens us. She turned to leave, then paused at the chamber door. Oh, and Commander Thex? Casper Reeves sends his regards. He's the Grand Admiral of the Earth Defense Fleet now. He wanted you to know that if you ever come near our system again, he'll do more than make a planet disappear. The door sealed behind her with a pneumatic hiss. The Galactic Council sat in stunned silence, contemplating a truth they should have learned long ago. Never underestimate the species that learned to dream before they learned to fly. Never ignore the people who turned their fiction into science, their impossibilities into engineering problems. And never, ever, ask where Earth went without being prepared for the answer. Humanity had gone silent. But they had never, for one moment, gone away.